that's me. Today, I have a little treat for you. And no, it's not my nakedness.
I just have to point it out every time.
Today, I'm doing something that I have not done in a really long time. The squishy kit.
The squishy kit.
Once upon a time, a long time ago, I used to do a lot of squishy kit reviews. Every time I found a squishy kit, I would make a video about it.
They all pretty much sucked.
They were kind of just rushed and thrown together to capitalize on a trend. And so, catastrophe after catastrophe, I never really found a decent DIY squishy kit. Until recently, I saw this one pop up somewhere on the internet, and I thought,
It's been a really long time since I've seen one of these DIY squishy kits.
I wonder if this one is better. Just looking at the box, it looks like it comes with a decent amount of stuff. It looks like the colors are reasonable. I don't know. Something about this one just makes me hopeful. I wanted to give it a chance. You know, it's been like 6 years since the squishy trend really took off. Like, they've had time to get this concept together. Maybe I'm naive, maybe I'm misguided, but
I trust this box.
little bit bummed that there's no character squishies on here, but still I think it's worth a try. I do want to start with the items in the kit, even though I can easily supplement all of these items with my own paint palettes, my own paint,
My own brushes, my own...
whatever. I am gonna try to use just the items in the kit. Okay, let me rip this plastic off. Ooh. I don't know why, but I'm trusting this box less without the plastic. Was it the cellophane that I was trusting? It's called Super Squishy Studio. It includes 5 squishies, and they are squishies that I feel like I've seen a million times.
Okay, fine.
Boop, 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 boop. We have a nice variety of sizes here, but this one is large. I've seen this exact squishy form many times. It's not unique to this brand or anything. To be fair, most people don't have an extensive collection of squishies in their homes, so maybe for the average person that's fine. But yeah, it's a standard squishy. This one, again, very standard, seen it millions of times. It's a cute little ice cream sundae. They also give you this freaking drink, which I have actually painted twice now, so I'm probably not gonna choose this one. This squishy is so done for me. And then they give you 2 little keychain squishies, a donut, and a little croissant. I do wish there was a little bit more variety here. Like, what are you gonna paint this, really? I mean, there's one option.
Bread color.
Who wants to paint a bread colored I don't know. There could have been something different, like a little popsicle if you wanted to stay on theme. Lots of other things could have worked better than a freaking croissant. How did they paint it on the box? Oh, they cover it in frosting and sprinkles. To me, that looks weird, but whatever. The squishies are fine. The issue that I run into with these DIY squishy kits, probably 90% of the time, is that the paint does not adhere to the squishies.
Because
The paint that you need for squishies is fabric paint, which peels off of smooth surfaces, and squishies naturally
Are very smooth.
so the paint does not stick. That's why I sand squishies before I paint them. But these are definitely just standard smooth squishies. There's nothing special about the finish, so scared of that. Oh, this is cute actually. Get out of here. These are really nice instructions.
I will say.
They give you a color mixing guide to show people how to make all the different colors that they could potentially want. It also gives you a little area where you can sketch out your idea, which is a really cute thought. And then it gives you some instructions that are very easy to read with pictures. I don't think I need to read the instructions because I think I've done this enough times to know how to do it, but I love, okay?
Well done.
What's in here? Problems, questions. That's a good sign. They care about you. Good to know. Oh! Oh,
now I'm impressed.
It comes with sandpaper.
Wow. Is this
Because of me?
I feel like this is because of me. I don't know, maybe it's not. Maybe they came to that conclusion with their own research, but I feel like this is because of me. Without this is a pretty unusable kit, which I was starting to get panicked about. This squishy material is not going to be paintable. Now, it will be. I'm shocked, I'm impressed.
I'm astounded.
And then some little sprinkles, which are cute and fun. And then this little
Tiny paint palette. It is very small, but that's okay.
And finally, the paint. which comes in yellow, blue, white, and red, which is not the prettiest color palette, but this is an acceptable choice. If you're gonna put only a couple colors in there, just give me the primary colors so I can at least mix my own colors. Don't just give me these whack, weird colors that I can't do anything with. Oh, there's more paint, and it says puffy paint, and this just says yellow. I don't know what the difference in the paints are. That's fine. We have extra white, which is always a good thing, and then a nice chocolate. I can see the paint in the tube,
And it's not moving.
I think it might be dried out. And then some paint brushes. These are pretty atrocious. That is a very small brush.
To use on this large of an item.
I'll give them a try.
I need to come up with an idea. Let me think.
You know what?
These colors are kind of reminding me of a snow cone. What if I painted an ice cream cone, but it's painted like a snow cone? Is that a good idea? Maybe.
I feel like it kind of is.
Let's do it. Out of my way, everyone. First, I'm going to, oops, sorry, get out my silicone mat. And then I need to sand this.
Let me go get my mask.
This is definitely gonna mess up my makeup. Here we go. Oh, the worst. So dramatic. Let me go get a vacuum. While I had the sandpaper going, I went ahead and sanded both of these because I feel like these are the two best ones. I am not even considering doing the bread, and the donut is and this one is So I'm gonna try and see if I can design this squishy using only the supplies given to me in the kit, with the exception of a popsicle stick. Of course, I'm gonna use a popsicle stick to mix my paint. Okay, I'm not in prison. So these are pretty close to the colors that I want, but I am going to just lighten them up just a little bit. You know what though? Because I should probably actually paint the cone first.
Does it give you a recipe for a cone color? Nope, it doesn't.
Interesting, because they show an ice cream cone with a perfectly acceptable cone color. However, cone color does not come in the kit, and they don't give you a recipe for that cone color. So that was a little bit of an oversight, okay? First little critique. Just saying, it doesn't make the kit bad, but that would have been a good thing to do. But I think I can make a cone color out of this brown, as long as this brown is still functional, because it's looking a little clumpy. Let's see. Ooh, that is the most realistic paint turd I've ever seen. You just need to admire that. Texture, color, it's all there. That is a turd. Anyway, yeah, that is not a healthy texture for paint though. Paint should be nice and smooth and glossy, and that is quite lumpy, but I think I can make a cone color. Oh boy, oh boy. This is not gonna work. Nope. Yeesh. Maybe if we add a little red. Oh, it's a bloody turd. Wow, this is looking like loose stool. So, you know, if I kept adding white and yellow to this, it would turn into an appropriate cone color. However, let's just try this paint on. Yeah, I mean, actually, it's not that bad. The lumps do kind of go away. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe I can use it. Okay, fine. You convinced me. I'll keep trying to use it. It's not as bad as I expected. Maybe if I just add a ton of white and a butt ton of yellow. All right, so that's the best cone color I can mix up. It's not terrible. I can work with this. Why do I need this tiny detail brush? We need
A big thick brush.
It's fine. It's fine. We're gonna make it work. Wow, I've used this brush for 2 seconds and it's already fraying. Like, what is that? Can you see that? I don't know how it's managed to already get frayed. So quality is not great. That's fine. Okay, so that took freaking forever because of this tiny paintbrush. I hate using this paintbrush.
I hate it.
Is it doable? Yes, but I don't want to do it anymore. I am gonna go get a different paintbrush. I'm sorry, guys. I've proven that it is usable, but I'm just not gonna use it. I hope that that doesn't break your heart. While that's drying, I'm going to lighten up the color even more because it's just looking too dark. Okay, maybe that color will work a little bit better. I'm gonna go throw this away. And all your friends too. You will all die. Okay, I'm back with a more reasonably sized paintbrush, but this needs to dry like ASAP. Okay, this is weird. It got so dark and streaky when it dried. I don't understand what happened. I've never seen that before.
That's new.
Maybe a second coat will help. So that looks normal, right? Let's see if it
Dries weird again.
I think I'll be able to paint both of these, so I'm just gonna start alternating so that I can not be waiting on the squishy to dry at all times. Also, I need a bigger paint palette because
This is crazy.
I can't fit any more paint on that already. It's full. So also I'm noticing that these squishies were kind of like packed in there in such a way that they got a little deformed, which is slightly disappointing. I'm now beginning to identify when squishies are deformed permanently and when they'll come back. And this looks like one that's kind of permanent based on my professional opinion. I don't know if you can tell, but like the edge is all deformed. There's also like some little areas around the strawberry that are kind of misshapen.
I don't know if there's much I can do about it though.
This one has a waffle cone too, so I obviously need to paint it like a waffle cone color, right? How are they designing it without a waffle cone color? Oh, they're not. Of course, they put a waffle cone color
On the waffle cone.
That drink design is actually pretty cute though.
I have to say. This one, I kind of want to do something a little bit cray-cray. What if we theme this one after Starla? Starla, girl. I feel like she is shining bright back there. Starla. What if I make this like a Starla ice cream? I still am gonna paint the waffle cone in a normal waffle cone color though, so if I use this on this as well though, I'm probably gonna run out of this color. I guess I can mix more. Those chunks from the chocolate actually somehow dissolved into the paint. I don't know how that happened, but I guess the chunks are fine. They're not there anymore. I do have tons of fabric paint that I can use, but I feel like if I switch out the paint, then I'm basically just painting on squishies.
Regularly. Like I'm not even using the kit anymore.
I wish this wasn't deformed. I kind of like my idea for this, but it's kind of sad that I'm putting it on a deformed squishy.
It's fine. How are you doing, sweetie?
Oh my gosh, this is so weird. It did it again. I've painted a lot of squishies before.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's like soaking the paint up like a sponge. I don't know if it's the paint or if it's the squishy or if it's just the combination of the two. I'm gonna get out some of my paint and just paint a layer with my paint and see if it looks normal. There we go, that looks normal. See how it dries. So the results are in, it looks normal. So there's something wrong with this paint. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't have like enough pigment in it or something. This now has 3 coats of the kit provided paint on it. Right now it looks fine, but I know when it dries, it's probably gonna look all weird and crusty again. I'm gonna just put this to the side and let this dry. And then I'm gonna move on to mixing up the colors for the ice cream cone, which is a snow cone ice cream. So it's like a snow cream cone. I'm gonna heavily rely on the kit paint for this. I'm giving you another chance, okay? So don't let me down, please. I've already ditched the brushes from the kit. I've already ditched the paint palette from the kit. Don't make me ditch the paint too. Blue, red, and yellow. And
Aren't those the most gorgeous primary colors?
then I'm gonna add a whole bunch of white to each of them. I don't want them as pastels, but I do want them just a little bit brighter and lighter than a typical primary color. That looks good. That looks kind of snow coney. So let me try this on. This is still tacky. Okay, still slightly tacky, but I think we can make it work. So I went in with the blue and the red and then the yellow down the middle, and I should have done this a different way because the yellow is super transparent, and I should have started with the yellow and then like slowly brought the other colors in. But now I've kind of created a little bit of a mess because this yellow is the most transparent paint I've ever seen in my life, but it is looking quite snow coney,
I'm pretty happy with the colors.
but
Yeah.
it's gonna require some cleanup. This also is a very cheap squishy, so there are many holes in the foam. It's not the most attractive thing ever to have tons and tons of holes. I'm gonna try to paint over it with as many layers as I can to cover those up. I'm gonna start by going over this yellow and hopefully trying to blend it out a little bit more. I ended up adding some white matte paint of my own to the yellow to try to get it a little bit more opaque so that I could have some hope hope of going over the red and the blue with the yellow. Once the yellow was drying, then I took some of that same snow cone blue and started painting in the ice cream portion of my starless sundae. And then I realized that the red and blue of my snow cone were drying way too dark. So I went back and added some of my own white paint to those as well to lighten those up. And now here's where I'm at with these. They are so awkward looking. The yellow is really, really light compared to the other colors. So I need to fix the balance. And then this one is just weird. It's just turning out so odd. Like, it won't dry. I don't understand what this paint is. It's turned the squishy into like a wet sponge. Fabric paint doesn't usually do that. It usually sits on top and then dries. Normally, I don't get what this paint is and why it's acting so weird. But yeah, it's like soaked into the squishy and it's really having a hard time drying.
It's just making it like mushy and soggy.
I feel like I would have had these both done already if I was just using normal paint. But because I'm trying to work with this kit paint, this is taking me a little bit longer than usual. I'm just gonna go over this bottom with my normal cone color because it just looks so bad and it's just soggy and it's gross. I'm gonna have nightmares from that soggy sponge. This is not looking right. So I tried to adjust these colors. It might be a little too dark now though. So yay, perfect. We're just flip-flopping. So and now that I'm starting to try to blend this a little bit, this paint is incredibly difficult to blend. It's like sticky.
It's sticky. It's gooey.
It does not want to blend, so it's barely blended. I'm also skeptical that this is gonna look okay when it dries. This kind of looks like a hot mess. It looks like one of those cheaply printed squishies. Usually I can do a little bit better with the paint job. Even with my own paint mixed into it, it doesn't correct the stickiness or the weird like gooey, transparent, sinking into the foamness of it. But yeah, this is what it looks like right now. Back to this guy or girl. My idea for this, I'm kind of nervous about attempting now because I know how this paint acts with blending and Starla is very heavily blendy. I guess I'm gonna try it anyway because I've already started now, so I kind of have to just go with it. But minimum, the ice cream portion of it needs a second coat for sure. I mean, okay, I've been patient, but this is getting annoying now. This is now like 4 or 5 layers of paint, and normally 4 or 5 layers is like, okay, everything is pristine at that point. But this still looks like it's like the first coat. I could keep on putting more and more coats of paint on it, but I feel like it's just gonna look the same. So I feel like I'm just gonna kind of finish these up and try my best and then move on from them and call it done. Okay, so I'm just gonna add the last touches that I can and then we're gonna be done with these. I can't go on any longer. Everything is spongy, sticky, and gooey. And even like the cone, it was fine. And now it's like, it's getting wetter. Like the moisture is like seeping out of it. It felt dry at one point and now it's like releasing moisture again and the paint is coming off.
Same thing with this.
The paint is coming off at the end and it's like feeling all weird and spongy. I feel like these are just dead. And I kind of am sad because I kind of got attached to these ideas. These might be some of the worst squishies that I've ever painted. Remind me not to do squishy kits anymore. I feel like people are gonna be like,
Oh, you just didn't feel like doing it and you just quit.
no. You know what? Just to prove it to you, I have these same squishies in my collection, okay? I will find these same squishies. I will start from scratch with those and use my own paint, and I will create these designs the way that I envision them so that you can see them come to life for real and not like this. Okay, hi. So fortunately, I didn't even have to go to my collection because I remembered that I had actually bought an extra one of these kits just in case. Now I have 2 of the exact same squishies and I can just start over again, this time using normal paint. Once I got the cone done, I jumped right into the snow cone, but actually ice cream cone top, and I just matched those original colors with my own paint. And of course, blending the colors was so much faster and easier without the weird stickiness. Finally, I added some little white speckles to make it look kind of icy like a snow cone. Compared to my first attempt, I think it's so much better. For a primary color scheme, I think it's kind of cute, and I like the idea of the ice cream snow cone imposter situation. Then I worked on the starless sundae, once again sticking true to the original design idea. I went in with some light blue blue for the dripping sauce, which no, this is not
Blue sauce.
Come on, that's Snuffleupagus. Starla is from Blob Universe. Painted in the little strawberry and then added some little Starla swirls in the topping and some cute little galactic stars. And yeah, I think it's a pretty clear improvement. I mean, I did kind of quit on the first one, so it's not a super fair competition, but still, this is exactly how I was envisioning the design, and I'm glad that I could actually make it come to life. It looks super cute with Starla, and I feel like I can breathe now. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry for the hot mess that was me painting these, and I will see you next Friday. Bye!